Last time on The Wayward Life, we started the process of fixing our chain locker. After talking to some people with more experience than us in metal boat fixing, we decided our next step would be cutting out one side of the chain locker hull, then building new ribs, replacing the plate, and then moving on to the next side. I'm Taryn, this is Logan, and this is Max. Our life rarely goes as planned, and this story is no different. But we are determined to rebuild our beautiful steel boat, even stronger than she was before. And we're bringing you along with us.
Today I'm just marking out the chain locker so that we can cut out the port side hull plate that needs replacing. So yeah, I've got a template made up. I'm going to mark the radius in the corners, and then I'm going to mark my lines where they come off of the radius and drill them, and then I can go onto the outside and cut the plate from the outside. And that way I should be able to use like magnetic straight edge or whatever and get a good straight cut, because cutting from the inside I'm going to have to do it hanging upside down, and there's ribs and all kinds of stuff in the way and tight corners. Like it's going to be much easier to do it from the outside. So that's what I'm working on.
After drilling the corners, Logan marked the radiuses and cut lines on the outside of the boat. He used a 4-inch grinding disc for tracing to get the proper diameter for the corners. So what's the reason for making the corners round instead of square?
Well, if you make them square, it leaves like a stress point where it will crack, and it will crack, and then we'll get water in our boat. So you make a rounded corner or a radius corner to just give it extra strength so it won't crack.
Sweet. And then it was time to cut out the first hull plate. The long, straight cuts were done with a zip disc, but the radius corners needed to be cut with the plasma cutter. There's a hole in the boat! Hello.
Well, it's a lot easier to see things now.
Weird. I can't imagine why.
That worked out really well.
Yeah? Very slight curve to it, hey, but not much.
Not much. This is all really pitted. And then down in here, it's bad all the way along the bottom. And then it goes up and there's spots that run up in back.
Kind of like under where the channel was.
This is all really thin right in here.
Okay.
So we could have just cut out strips, but
whatever, it's going to be thicker metal than it was, and it'll be solid, so. Right? Then came time to fix the pesky chain locker vent.
so the vent pipe that we cut off that went into from the chain locker into the V-berth and has caused a bit of a corrosion issue in there. I've chopped it out of there. So that's this. Made a cardboard template. Fits in there like that. Now I just need to cut the plate out and clean it up and weld it in. Oh, that's it.
Logan also used a die grinder to clean up the edges of the hole before welding in the new plate.
Today is another day of prep work. I was gonna get some of this welded up. The patch that needs to be welded up under here. There's some holes and stuff that need to be patched up there. And here. And just all over. And we have some work to do down in the down where this light is here. So where that was like rusted out or whatever before, the bulkhead's rusted out and a bit of the stem is not in very good shape. So we gotta go at getting that done, but before we can do that, the foam has to come out of these first, in between these first 3 ribs, and off of here. This all has to come off, so I've been peeling away at it. It comes off really easy, other than the stuff that is wedged in here. And I've got to cut out this section here. So there's a hole right here you can see on the other side of this. It's rusted pretty bad right here and right here. So I've got to cut it up here and all the way around. And then, I don't know if you can see, but this stem here, I have to chisel this all back and see how bad it is and get right into the root weld here. Yeah, you can see it just flakes off. Or maybe you can't see. There we go. It just flakes off there. So like that's a really pretty bad spot. But I don't think it's really taken enough out of it to worry about. But right here it has. So right here has gotten really thin, and then under all this all has to be dug out, chiseled out of here. It's a bunch of just rust and foam and stuff, and then we have to look at the hull right here, and the same on this side to make sure it hasn't eaten away too much of it. So that's what I'll be doing today. So this is what it looks like now. Foam's all out of there. All the way down. There's a bit of rust we gotta fix here. And up there. And a bunch in there. But there's no foam anywhere here. We've got it all out of here, and now it's just time to start fixing things. This is how much I had just pulled out. This whole garbage bag. That was just today. A little bit that was left up here.
And then began the process of fixing that rust. The first step was to cut out a portion of the bulkhead, which was pretty badly rusted. It's pretty easy to see with all those sparks flying why we were so adamant about removing all of the foam. And there it was, rust hole and all. Join us next week when we build a small crane for bringing the welder up onto the deck, make some new ribs, and generally just continue to rebuild the boat. Thanks so much for being here. We would love to have you with us in real time as well over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month.